Hello, I'm out in the orchard today doing some pruning. I've been pruning fruit trees since I was a child, and there's some really simple, small techniques that we can implement that really increase the success and your confidence for pruning, because it doesn't need to be complicated. There's just a few very small, simple techniques that can really improve the health and the fruit production of your trees. Come on, let's get started. Why do we prune? We prune to shape the tree, remove dead, diseased or damaged growth, and to allow light into the inner branches. When we are shaping a tree, one of the main shapes I usually go for is a goblet shape. Really looking for 5 main stems reaching out and a clear interior. So what this does is it allows light to reach all of the branches as the sun's arc goes around, and it also allows air movement through the tree, which reduces fungal diseases. We prune apples and pear trees in the winter when they're dormant, and this is when there's no leaves on them. We're looking for a nice clear day without too much rain to do your pruning. So when I'm first looking at a tree, I want to make sure I'm not taking out any more than 1/3 of the living growth. And the first things I'm looking for is removing the 3 Ds: dead, diseased and damaged growth. Here we have a piece of canker that I want to remove so it reduces its spread through the tree. We also want to remove any dead wood, and actually we want to remove that right down at the base, so that can then grow over and heal the wound. Then we remove any damaged growth. As we can see here, we've got overlapping growth that is rubbing, and that's creating a point which is perfect for fungal diseases and pathogens to get into the tree. So we want to be removing any overlapping and rubbing growth. And on this, we want to do a thinning cut right back to the main stem. And this is where the pruning saw really comes in handy. When we look at this tree has clearly not been pruned lately, and it's been allowed to get dents in the centre. And if we are going for our goblet shape, as you can see in the centre of this, there's loads of growth, and that means that the light isn't getting to the central branches to ripen fruit. When we're pruning it, we want to do the least amount of cuts as we can to get an open centre. So really we're looking to remove some of these larger central stems. There are 2 main types of cuts we do when we're pruning fruit trees. There is the heading cut that is done up the stem. Then there is the thinning cut that is done right back to the main stem. Here we have a branch growing back into the centre of the tree, and it's a perfect example to do a thinning cut. A thinning cut is cut right back to the base of the stem, and that is done to increase flowering and fruit production by focusing the energy of the tree onto the development of new buds. Heading cuts are mainly done on young trees where you want to encourage the growth in a certain direction for a shape of your desire. And heading cuts are mainly done down to a outward facing bud, so that you encourage the new growth to come outwards from the tree, so it doesn't create a clustered shape in the tree. On the tree we have 2 different types of buds. We have the fruiting buds and we have the vegetative buds. The fruiting buds develop into fruit, and the vegetative buds develop into leaves and branches. Be careful when you're pruning not to take out too many of your fruiting buds. We want to identify the biggest limbs we can remove to open up the centre, trying to make as few cuts as we can and it's good to remove any limbs that are growing into the centre of the tree. You also want to remove any vertical growth. These stems don't produce much fruit, and we want to encourage the horizontal growth so that it makes it easier to harvest fruit as well. We've got these two clear leader stems, but we've got to be careful this year not to take too much out and keep to our third quota. Here you can see a nice open centre of the tree. A good test for the shape of the tree is if I can throw my hat right through the centre without it getting caught on branches. Let's have a check. Perfect. It's not the finished structure we want, but for this year and the health of the tree, that's where we'll stop. And the rest of the structure will be formed in the years to come. I hope these simple techniques help you prune with confidence. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.